Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews. I'm Brayden, and today, since the Batman came out and I finally checked it out after a very long time, we now have 14 movies that feature Batman. And so, there's a bunch more than that, but I'm just going to be doing like the main ones. I'm going to be doing the DCEU, the original Batmans, the Lego Batman movie, the new ones, the Dark Knight trilogy, and the Batman in the DCEU. So, let's start ranking them. Coming in last place here, unfortunately, is going to be Justice League, or Justice League 2017, which, after all this time, still being, like, the worst Batman movie, one of the worst superhero movies ever made. It's just really horrible, but this is a Batman ranking. Speaking of Batman, I do really like Ben Affleck as Batman, but he's really doesn't have that much to do in this movie. I don't like him in this movie. He's not too fun. He doesn't too quippy. He's goofy. He's weird with everything that he does. And there's nothing even to say for me. Like, Justice League, it just cut everything out of Zack Snyder's Justice League and messed it up. And one of those things that got messed up was Batman. And it's sad that he's on a Batman tier list. We have this movie that is not really featuring Batman that much, and it comes in last. But I don't even have much to say after all this time of just reflecting on, I think, of how horrible it is. Batman isn't good in this movie. Nobody's really any good in this movie, so that's why it comes in last. 13th place here is going to be Batman and Robin, the Batman movie that most people consider to be the worst. And if we're actually including Batman movies, this one is easily the worst. I like George Clooney. I liked him in the Ocean's 11 movies. He was pretty good in there. And he's okay in other stuff that I've seen him in. But he doesn't work as a Batman. Added to it, this movie is absolutely one of the cheesiest movies I've ever seen. Where you have Mr. Freeze, Arnold Arnold as Mr. Freeze, and just spewing out puns, which he's the best character in the movie, but still, You have Bane, one of the most disrespectful characterizations of any Batman character ever. You really, seriously hate Robin in this movie, how stupid he is. Poison Ivy is so annoying, and just the entire thing is so weird, goofy, campy, and it doesn't work. It might have worked a bit in Batman Forever, but for here, this goofiness doesn't work for me. I don't enjoy it. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's pretty bad. And everything that they try to do on an emotional level doesn't work. Everything here is just so weird. Like, Batman seriously gets out a pair of bat skis with Robin. It's a weird movie. I can understand if people have this in last, easily, if you have this in last. So just this movie, this franchise, like, you have the Batman movies, 4 Batman movies that were all sort of like in the same thing, but Batman keeps getting recast, so it's just so weird. I didn't enjoy it. 12th place here is going to be Batman 66, the original actual Batman movie. And going into it, I had, like, fair expectation. I hope it would be a pretty solid 6 out of 10. Like, I just wanted it to be not as bad as, like, Batman and Robin and Justice League, and it wasn't. Do I hate this movie? I can't really hate this movie. It's not, for me, this is not my sort of Batman. I don't like this sort of Batman as much. He's just so 50s, so 60s, so older Batman. And if we are going off of that older Batman, this is a great characterization of it. The villains, not memorable. The plot, non-existent. But the little quips, the little banter, the little fun scenes are all there. It's fun enough. It's very, very, very dated. For like the first time watching it, it is dated. And it's a representation of Batman from a very, very long time ago. And so, it's a weird movie to put on this list because it's so different than every other movie on this list. Even if the movie's bad, I'm more familiar with this sort of Batman. This Batman is totally different. Same thing with Robin. Totally different than what you think. But I still, there's a bit of charm there, a little nice stuff. I don't think it's a 6 out of 10 for me. It's probably a 5 out of 10. But, it's a bit unfair for me to just say that it's mainly just because of the bad production or nothing. Nah, it was a product of its time, and for that, it could have been worse. 11th place here, we have Batman Forever, the movie where things started to get campy. Some of this stuff, like the first scene of this movie, is a joke about drive-thru with Batman, and it's pretty intense. And then you have joke about drive-thru. There's this guy that's always like, "Oh, the acid," and you just have all these weird things going on here that just so weird. Robin in this movie, you have like a 20-year-old kid roaming around your mansion when he looks like he's supposed to be in the comics. He's like teenager, maybe, and kid, and here 20-year-old kid hanging out with Bruce Wayne. It just doesn't make much sense. Villains here, Two-Face. Don't really enjoy Two-Face that much. The Riddler has some charm to him, being Jim Carrey, but other than that, it's just like a very 90s Jim Carrey. And I enjoy 90s Jim Carrey, but it's not like Riddler like we're supposed to get. So, it's enjoyable enough. It's got a few good things, few solid things. But Bruce Wayne in this movie, I think, is pretty good. Batman's forgettable. You have this one girl in there who's always wanting, way too horny, always wants to just bang Bruce or Batman or whatever. It's just so weird. And just, this is sort of like the 90s Batman, I would say. And it's not good. Batman 66 might be a bit better than it overall, but I just found more entertainment value out of Batman Forever having Jim Carrey as the Riddler. But, this is still not that amazing of a characterization of Batman. 10th place here, we have Batman Returns. This isn't really a Batman movie. We don't start with Batman, and we don't end with Batman. We start with Penguin, and we end with Catwoman. And this movie is about sort of Tim Burton's version of Gotham, and it's sort of exploring weirdos. You have Batman the weirdo, Catwoman the weirdo, and Penguin the weirdo. And it's just very darker sort of Gotham. You have Danny DeVito as the Penguin, which, I don't really know what to think. Like, this is a very classic Penguin if you're going for this weird sort of Penguin. I think this is the best you could have done if you're going for a weird Penguin who is seriously raised by penguins. But I don't think it's the greatest, thing for this guy. Catwoman's great, but once again, this is a Batman movie, not a Catwoman movie. Batman kills whoever he wants in these movies, which is just so hilarious to me. We have Batman Dark Knight trilogy and the Batman where they're like, should I kill somebody? Should I cross the line? And this guy's just like, he will kill anybody. He doesn't care. And I enjoy that about this. It's something different where we're so used to the conflict. Will I kill somebody? Will I not kill somebody? And this is just like, I'm going to kill somebody. I enjoyed it. Wasn't as bad as I wanted. Still give it a pretty positive score, maybe around a 7. But, this is just another weird movie. It doesn't feel like a Batman movie. You don't really care about the Batman stuff. And so, it's okay. Batman doesn't even have a character arc here. Same thing in Batman 89. Speaking of Batman 89, coming in 9th place here is going to be the original Batman, actual Batman sort of movie, Batman 89. This movie, once again, isn't as interested in Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne or Batman as it is in the villains. Joker's mainly, he's like the main character in this. Batman doesn't even have a character arc in this. People call this a very classic movie. I can understand that. It's probably not as classic as the original Superman, which I'm still trying to check out. But still, I can see the sort of classic things with Batman, the Batman suit, sort of classic Joker. I enjoyed Joker in this movie. He was pretty good, pretty top-notch sort of Joker if you're going for that weirder sort of Joker. But Batman doesn't have a character arc. There isn't a whole bunch going on here with, like, the plot is very weird where it's about this goo and just sort of trying to take over everybody. It's a bit of a weird movie, but I'm mostly there for the ride to see Batman and Joker, and I enjoyed that. It was okay. This is just this 4 movies of Batman from Batman 89 to Batman and Robin. They're not exactly my sort of Batman. I'm sorry if you really enjoy these movies. My Batman is the Batman from the Batman, or the Dark Knight trilogy Batman. This is a weird, original sort of thing that got a bit messed up along the way, but I enjoy it. It's pretty good. Maybe an 8 out of 10, maybe not, but, it's pretty good. 8th place here, we have Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. This is the Ultimate Edition, the 3-hour version, not the theatrical cut. I have never seen the theatrical cut, so if you have a problem with the theatrical cut, then I don't really have much to say. I actually really enjoy this movie, way more than I thought I would. Lex Luthor, people give him problems. I enjoy Lex Luthor. I enjoy him in this movie. Doomsday, final boss, but still looks pretty epic. I like the ending between Superman and Batman. There's some great sequences in here with the warehouse sequence with Batman. I really enjoy that. This is just a dark, epic Batman. I love the Batman and the version in here. This Batman who is, everybody that he knows has sort of been killed by this stuff that's going on with Superman. So he has to turn to the dark side and just go on. I don't actually know if he goes on a murder spree, or I haven't seen it in a while, but he's just angry, wants to kill Superman and this guy who's killing everybody, and it's pretty epic. I really enjoyed the Batman here. Ben Affleck, I feel like we should have gotten his movie, but I'm really happy that we also got the Batman, so I'm a bit conflicted there, but man, this is just, I know people hate this movie, but I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. It's a great movie in my book. I'm sorry. It tries to set up the Justice League. That's very clumsy, but, this is still a good movie. I really enjoy it. 7th place here, we have Batman the Mask of the Phantasm. This is like the first Batman animated movie. Maybe, I don't know. But people were talking about this. I decided to include it in the list because it's my list. You could include whatever Batman movies you've seen in your list. But Mask of the Phantasm, it's based off of the animated show, and it had Mark Hamill as the Joker. You have this new character, the Phantasm. You have like this classic Batman / Bruce Wayne, and I really enjoyed this movie. This is pretty good. Like, I could understand if you grew up with this movie and having it in your top 3, but for me, first time watching it, I loved the Joker here. Phantasm was pretty good. Batman was pretty good. But this is not exactly I enjoy it. It is my sort of movie, sort of, but, it's a bit different for me. It's very classic, and I like that about it. But, it didn't 100% just nail it for me. It's not like, yes, that was an amazing movie, and I absolutely loved it. No, it was a pretty solid movie, and, it's got some good scenes in there. I enjoy the villains, and there's a very big twist in there. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen the movie yet. But the twist for me, I still am a bit conflicted on it. I think it's a good twist, but just nice classic sort of Batman. I enjoy it. 6th place here, we have the Lego Batman movie, a movie that, after watching all these Batman movies, it's so great to watch this and just be like, yes, this is the first Batman movie that I've ever seen. So I got that nostalgia for it. And then understanding all the jokes that they had, all the puns, all the little fun things that you have in there. I enjoy it. I just love it. There's Will Arnett is a fun Batman. I've been watching a lot of Will Arnett he does a Lego show called Lego Masters, and they build Lego stuff. I've been watching that. It's just fun to see. You could get it for free on Tubi. I'd recommend it if you like this sort of television Lego building competition thing. It's fun. But the Lego Batman movie, it has always had a special place in my heart. I really enjoy the Joker in here. I love the thing of him. It's a fun movie where you get all these cameos from villains, famous WB villains. Love it. You get some great just little references to all the Batman movies. It's a celebration of Batman. And so I love it. It's amazing. It's just so fun is the thing. You get a great Robin here, great Batman. You get like a great Batwoman, I think. And then Alfred is fun too. I just enjoy this movie so much. It's always got that special place in my heart. I feel so horrible that the Lego franchise or whatever got canceled, but it was a nice run. 5th place here we have The Dark Knight Rises, a movie that when I first watched it, I was disappointed, and I've only seen it once, so I'm still a bit let down by it because The Dark Knight is pretty obviously going to be high up there. And The Dark Knight Rises, I love Bane in here. Tom Hardy as Bane is amazing. Like, one of the best villain performances in these Batman movies. We got some amazing villains, but Tom Hardy as Bane is really, really good. Very quotable. Batman in this movie, I really enjoy Batman. I don't think we should have had the time skip, but I'm okay with it, where he has to retire from being Batman, then get back to being Batman to retire as Batman by the end of the movie. I love so much the final scene of this movie, how it ends with Alfred. This is my favorite Alfred. This is one of my favorite Batmans. I'm not going to spoil that because I got a list coming on soon. But I just really, really love the ending of this movie. There is some problems. Catwoman is a bit... Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, I think she's okay. She's not amazing. I don't know if she's the worst or not. There's sort of that conflict for me. Her versus the new Catwoman that we get. But the romance between the two of them, I thought it was fine, What they do with the twist, the twist villain reveal, I didn't like that. It's sort of the thing that sort of put it down. Like, originally I had the Lego Batman movie ahead of this. But still, solid movie, solid end to the trilogy, still a bit of a letdown. In 4th place here, we have The Batman. Still a great movie. I loved it. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. I thought it would be a bit higher on this list, but it didn't exactly make it there for me. The villains, unfortunately, weren't as well as I was hoping. Penguin was amazing, but he wasn't in there enough. And the Riddler was really good, but his entire plan and everything, he's a YouTuber. It just seems a bit odd to me. And the Batman, he feels a bit invincible. Catwoman, didn't really like her as much as I wanted to, and how she's sexualized. It just sort of, really? Do we gotta do that with her and Batman? But the cinematography, the look, the feel, the vibe, amazing. The actual plot, not the greatest, but this movie, really good. Great performances. I don't think at the end of the year it's going to be my favorite movie, but it's probably going to be in that top 10. Possibly. We'll see. Maybe. Probably. But anyway, I'm happy that it's getting a sequel. I liked sort of the ending that we have. I love the beginning and ending monologues. So, great movie. Probably deserves a rewatch. Before we get into our top 3, just wanted to remind you that you can leave your comments down below. Tell me your whatever Batman movies you've seen. Just please rank them. Be really interested to see everyone's list, as we're all different. So feel free to add on whatever Batman movies you've seen. And with that said, coming in 3rd place here is going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League. My second favorite movie of last year, where Zack Snyder's just 4-hour masterpiece. I just loved this movie so much and still do. It's solid. I was hoping the Batman would beat it, but unfortunately it still is ahead of it. But we're talking about Batman in this movie, and since this is a Batman list, it does come in third. It might come in second if it was a different list. Have to sort of do some comparisons, but just the Batman in this movie, I love this Batman in this movie. He's just so, like, we're gonna beat the bad guys. He's crushing everybody. He's trying to bring back Superman. He's realizing his mistakes. In Justice League, that was not there at all. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, that is so prevalent. He's the leader that brings everybody together. We sort of start the movie with him. And then I just really enjoy this Batman. This is a Batman list, so, yeah, things could change in the future. It might move up a bit more depending on how many rewatches and what I think of it. But just amazing movie. Loved it. And just what they did with Batman was so good. Second place here is going to be Batman Begins. I think, second Batman movie that I ever watched. And once again, I love this Batman here. This Christopher Nolan. This Christian Bale Batman, who is just so great. I love this intro to Batman here. I really enjoyed James Gordon. Scarecrow is a fun villain. And then Ra's al Ghul is really good. I love Liam Neeson as him. And just, this movie is a great beginning for Batman. Morgan Freeman's in here. Just great cast all around the board. Love Bruce Wayne in this movie. Love Batman. Such a great movie. It's one of the Batman movies that I rewatched the most. It's just so good. 10 out of 10. Originally, I was thinking it was like a 7. And I thought about, and it was an 8. Then it became a 9. It comes in number 2. But just an amazing beginning for Batman. But coming in at number 1 easily for me is The Dark Knight. This is my favorite movie of all time. This is my favorite superhero movie of all time. And this is my favorite Batman movie of all time. I was 100% sure that there was no way that The Batman would become the new greatest Batman movie. I was hoping it would crack my top 3, but unfortunately it didn't. So, The Dark Knight, what else is there to say? Heath Ledger as the Joker is one of the greatest performances of all time. Christian Bale does a great job. I love what Christopher Nolan did with this movie, with the beginning, the end, everything, the tension. Just so many amazing, iconic scenes. Joker is so iconic. You remember all the characters. This is by far the Batman movie that I rewatched the most. Absolutely love it. Will never be beaten, ever, I'm pretty sure. And just really just... It's the first time I watched it, it just blew my mind how amazing it was. This is my sort of movie. It gets the adrenaline going. It's a really great movie. You have the great action. You have the amazing just how they did practical stunts where they actually blew up hospitals. They actually did some of this stuff. I just love this movie so much. No way that it would have been beaten. So that's my list. Can't wait to see yours. Leave it in the comments down below. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Thank you everybody just for watching. I know it's been a longer video, but it took me a very long time to watch the Batman, but finally made this list. So thank you everybody. Braden out.